All right, thanks, Father Matt. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation to come down and to kind of kick off your conference. Can you hear me okay? Is this good volume? Great. Thank you. I always feel like I'm the president up in the big podium, you know, it's like State of the Union address. So I like to come down and kind of move around. So if you can't hear me, I do apologize. Feel free to give me the little ear wiggle sign, and I'll try to speak up. But again, as Father Matt said, I come from Philadelphia. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning for you. And also for the high school, I talked to about 2 o'clock. So for them. But I'm excited. You guys are excited. I walked in that room where you were eating food and stuff, shoving things in your face. You guys were loud. You were like rowdy. It was great. So it's clear that you like being together. Your faith draws you here. You're going to hang out for a couple days. Is this 2-3 days? How long is this thing? 2-3 days? Great. Oh, until Sunday. Okay, great. And you got people from out of state? Who's Oklahoma? That was cute. Kansas? Louder. That's louder. New Jersey? Okay. Venezuela? Yeah! I had to give you a shout out. And you know what? I'm from New Jersey, so I don't know what Donaghy was here. New Jersey's a great state. Did you know that Israel, the Holy Land, is about the same size as New Jersey? So think about that, guys. I don't know why. Just think about it. All right, so I want to ask you if you know about theology of the body. You know what theology of the body is. Raise your hand if you've heard of this phrase, theology of the body. Nice. Raise your hand if you can tell me in a succinct paragraph what the heck it is. Okay. Yes, can somebody just give me just a shot? By the way, 2% of Catholics in the world know what theology of the body is. So you're like the elite, if you know what it is. Please just give me a word. What is theology of the body? We're going to unpack that tonight.
John Paul II.
Okay. A series of lectures of John Paul II. That's true. A little academic, but it's good. What's it about? What is the theology of the body?
God's plan for human sexuality.
God's plan for human sexuality. Now, right now, already, some of you are like, what? God, spiritual stuff is over here. Sex, my body, desires are over here. And never the twain shall meet, right? What? Well, the twain shall meet tonight. We're going to talk about it. What else? That was weird. Never heard that before. What else? You who have heard of theology of the body, what's a catchphrase or something you remember from a tape or a talk or a book? God's plan for human sexuality. What else is the theology of the body about?
Christ's story reveals man to himself.
Little Gowdy at its best there. One of Pope John Paul II's favorite thoughts or quotes, in fact, he may have actually crafted it, Jesus Christ fully reveals man to himself and makes his supreme calling clear. Now tonight we're going to think about this. Like, how does Jesus do that? How does he reveal us to ourselves fully and make our calling clear? Is it just like a spiritual thing? Is it just like a mental thing? Or is it somehow connected to our bodies as male and female and our deepest desires for love and for communion? It's deeply tied to our bodies and our desires for love and communion. It really is. That reminds me, please silence all cell phones. Fax machines. All right, so we have a couple of teasers there of what it's about. Does anybody know when Pope John Paul II first introduced theology of the body? It's kind of, yes, 1979. What was happening in 1979? What was sort of just settling? Sexual revolution. Free love, if it feels good, do it, kind of crazy stuff. Has the last 40 years of the sexual revolution made us happy, stronger marriages, great relationships, ending the battle of the sexes forever? No, it's tanked. It's worse than ever. In all seriousness, we're screwed up. We're a mess. We're a sexual mess. It's a disaster. So in 1979, John Paul II, with his finger on the pulse of humanity, always, right? He's like, we got to go to the source. So he goes to the source, to the human body, as male and female. And he uses the social sciences, philosophy, and the scriptures, God's word, to sort of shine light on the mystery of human sexuality. What's up with this? What is God's plan for us? What are these desires that are so strong? Why do they seem to lead us astray so often? If God made the body, if God gave us the gift of sex, where did we go wrong? So he goes right to the source. Theology of the body is a kind of counter-sexual revolution. And I'm so excited for those of you who have no idea about it yet, that tonight you get a little taste. I'm going to do my best, right? We have just over an hour or so. I'm going to just kind of water ski over the surface of this huge ocean of teaching. And I really hope that when I'm done, you guys like start Googling theology of the body like crazy. And start favoriting all these websites and stuff, and all the resources that we have out there at theologyofthebody.com. About 10 years ago, I was really taken by this teaching, and the last 10 years, awesome. Transforming the way I look at life, relationships, my wife Rebecca, God, you guys, everything. So I'm very excited about it. What was that website again? Oh, somebody said www.
Yes.
Awesome. Why do we say that? That is so unnecessary. But isn't it? It's like, okay. http:// Okay, anyway, that was random. See, your excitement is totally throwing me off. Let me jump back a little bit to the year 1986. Yeah, the 80s, from which all good things come. None of you were a glint in your mother's eye, but, they probably were there. Now, I was a teenager. I was, I guess, 16, 17, and I was in a Catholic bookstore. And I found this book. This is the actual book. This is from 1986. It's like an antique already, right? It's the first set of talks of Pope John Paul II, 1979, right? Put together. It's called Original Unity of Man and Woman. On the book of Genesis, there's a sun shining through leaves here. I was about 16 years old, and my parents had just divorced 2 years previous. My family that I'd grown up with and was nurtured by suddenly was split apart. How many of you have suffered, or you know somebody in your circle somehow that has suffered divorce? Raise your hand really high. All right, everybody look around real quick. Remember what I talked about? Like, we're messed up? Something's going on here. Now, again, this is not about judgment or pointing fingers or saying whatever. We have an almost 50% divorce rate, right? We have like all these scary statistics about human love and human relationships. We have 1 out of 3 children being born outside of wedlock. We have 1 out of 4 pregnancies being terminated by abortion. We have 1 out of 8 men deeply addicted to pornography. 1 out of 8 men deeply addicted to pornography. We're in a deep distress. Now I'm 16 years old. I'm feeling the first shockwaves of this divorce. And I see this book, Original Unity of Man and Woman. And I start reading through it a little bit. Now, it's pretty dense, theologically, philosophically. But it starts talking about God's original plan, his original plan, way back in the beginning for human love. And I was struck by its beauty. It wasn't talking about thou shalt not this, and if you do this, you're going to hell. And it was all about the beautiful call of man and woman to become one flesh.